Welcome to Part 4 of the 5-part Intellios Item Writer Training Webinar, Best Practices and Requirements. There are just a few more things to keep in mind as you prepare to begin volunteering as an item writer. Once you've completed this training webinar, you will be placed in one of our item writing projects. Item writing projects are open for 3 months at a time, with a month off in between. Writers are asked to submit 10 items per project quarter. Don't worry, if you join a project in the middle or the end of the quarter, you wouldn't be expected to write all 10, but this goal sets the expectation at slightly less than 1 item per week. Because there are so many things to keep in mind about writing items, we introduced the Mentor program a few years ago. We pair all our new volunteers with more experienced writers who are familiar with our style guidelines. They have all attended item review sessions and have a pretty good idea of what it takes for an item to be good enough to make it onto an exam. Once you complete this training, you will receive an email with instructions on how to log into the APCA system, our item writing website, not to be confused with the electronic medical record system of the same name. This welcome email will also contain contact information for your mentor. The mentor will be a subject matter expert in the same specialty that you have chosen to write for, and therefore can provide feedback on the content as well as the structure of the item. Then you, the writer, can incorporate that feedback prior to submitting the item to us. At the end of the writing project, you and your mentor will have the opportunity to fill out a survey and let us know how this partnership is going. If you need it, mentors can also help you identify references for your items. On occasion, someone will contest the validity of our test questions, and so we do require item writers to include a citation on every item they submit. Please understand that we are not asking you to go to your favorite chapter in your favorite textbook and pull a question out of that. That is plagiarism, of course, and we don't want that. We still think you should get the inspiration for your questions from your daily clinical practice. But once you write about a case you had, find a source that deals with that topic and reference that. We recommend you use books or journals published within the last 10 years, nothing so old that it is no longer commonly accepted, and nothing so cutting edge that only a few clinics practice that way. In EPIC, you will also see a place to provide a rationale. Unlike adding a reference, which is required, rationales are optional, but can be helpful when the topic you are writing about does not have a clear reference source. For example, if the item is asking which step might be performed first or last in a procedure, or when the question focuses primarily on what can be seen in an image, you might include a rationale that says, the image shows inflamed soft tissue around the appendix, thus indicating appendicitis, or something to that effect. The way we look at it is, if you're testing about a fact, you should easily be able to find a reference. Applied knowledge may warrant a rationale as well, but again, this is not required. We have reached the end of the slideshow. Part 5 of this webinar, the final section, is a tutorial of the EPIC Remote Item Writing website. Once you complete that, you will be able to begin writing items, and you should receive your welcome email within 3 to 5 business days. A link to all 5 parts of the training, as well as other helpful documents discussed in this training, such as STEM starters, content outlines, and written instructions for EPIC, are available in the ARDMS resource library, which you can access via your ARDMS page, seen here. Simply click the Volunteer Now tab, and you will be taken to your volunteer dashboard, where you will find a link to the Resource Center. We are currently developing a similar volunteer portal for APCA and anticipate it being available at the beginning of 2018. This concludes Part 4 of the webinar. Please continue to the next module.